Welcome to the number one 5-star rated show for the first steps into entrepreneurship. Don't forget to subscribe for the latest episodes. Enjoy.
You're listening to WERALP Arlington 96.7 FM. Disclaimer. Please seek the advice of a financial or legal professional in any and all business ventures. This show does not constitute financial or legal advice. And now, the show that helps you go from wannapreneur to entrepreneur. The Swift Kick Show with Timothy D. Craggett. Entrepreneurial tips and advice with a kick. Here's Tim.
Welcome to the Swift Kick Show here on WERA. This is 2017, the first show of the year. Happy New Year. Congratulations. Oh man, I'm so stoked. Let's get with the first kick. So most times, the average person, the everyday person, takes their New Year's Eve, New Year's Day to make that resolution, that thing that they're going to aspire to for the year, their goal for the year, whether it's losing weight from, Christmas cookies or whatever, or dropping a vice like smoking or improving health, all those types of things. But for the online entrepreneur, the small business owner, there's not really that opportunity there for making a New Year's resolution for your business. Well, I want to try to debunk that in this show because I want everyone to start off the year with a clean slate, an excellent position, and have much success in 2017. So the plan for this episode is very, very simple. We're going to bring up some resolutions that I think will be helpful, and we're going to make a plan the way we do it in the online space. So that way you can have faster results. And hopefully your year won't be a 12-month calendar. So let's get right to it. Now, starting with some resolutions. A lot of things with resolutions is there's something that happened in the previous year that might have been problematic, might have been something that caused you not to do as well. So let's start off with one of the first ones that I see a lot of online entrepreneurs and or brick and mortar entrepreneurs go through whenever it comes to, loss and profit and loss. So one of them is about employees and increasing profit. So a lot of the times in the online space, you might get outsourcers that come in to do some of the work that needs to be done on a daily basis. And one of the things that starts to kind of labor in a business is having someone on way too long. And it's really hard to be that person where you have to make those hardline decisions and you have to say, I'm sorry, but this is hurting more than it's helping. But whenever you're just looking at your profit and loss and you're seeing that this person that you're working with is costing you, they're an expense, they're costing you profitability, then it's not an emotional decision at that point. It is a business decision. So just short and sweet, not necessarily cutting dead weight, but looking at your employees that may not be as helpful as they could be and try to increase your profitability by bringing in people that are better suited for the work that you need to have done. One of my favorite things that I've been having clients kind of think about this year is not selling product at the price that you need to sell it at. So for those of you that are marketing things and you're being a little bit, discounty with your pricing, it's time to get those pricings up. It's really difficult when you're trying to price so you can get into a marketplace and then you get into the rut of I'm not making what I need to make in order to sustain my business. And tire kickers, as we call them, hurt. They hurt a business so much. And there's no reason why proper pricing can't happen. It's systematic of marketing and positioning. And there's so many people that have such great talents, especially in the online world. Maybe even you for whatever it is that you're trying to do, but your pricing schema might not be up to the level of the quality of work that you do. So in this year, you might want to resolute that you're not going to market to people that can't pay for your product or your service. So it's just some food for thought. I'm going to give you another one before we go to break. So one of the things that I would say is another one is that trying to network at major events is a really, really big one that most people don't think of doing. So you might want to resolute this year to go to at least one big major industry event. This is why it is so important for you. One, connections. You never know who you're going to meet and who will be that person that will take you to the next level. I have met many people in my industry that I'm now partners with, and it works out really, really great. Two, you never know how that event is going to amplify your business, because it's not just about the connections, it's about the information. If you learn something that can 10x, 20x your results, it's more than worth it. I can guarantee that. A third thing for you, sorry about that. A third thing for you in any of these events that you may do is you're going to get, how do I say it? You're going to get personal kudos. Like when you start meeting people, you tell them what you do, it's going to boost up your confidence. It's going to help you actually make it through the year. There's so many hard times when it comes to running a business, anything like that. And you need to be able to sustain your emotional stability throughout the year. It is really hard to run a business. It's not like going into a job and punching a clock. So you kind of need those boosters throughout the year in order to get you going and moving and just having a good time doing what you're doing. So making sure that you go to some major event and not just like, cheat yourself with like conference talk or anything like that, but actually going there, absorbing something that it's a game changer for most people. So what we're going to do right here is take ourselves a really, really quick break. I'm going to give you a couple more things to think about for resolutions, and then we'll get into the plan. You're listening to the Swift Kick Show here on WERA 96.7 FM.
Did you know this is only the beginning? There's always more show just for you. We have exclusive interviews and bonus content to help you on your journey into entrepreneurship. Go to www.swiftkickshow.com to learn more.
Welcome back to the Swift Kick Show here on WERA 96.7 FM. I am Timothy D. Craigette. Now we're going to actually go to the second kick. Yeah, you weren't experiencing that. So we got a couple more resolutions that I want you guys to consider for 2017. Now, one of the things that most online entrepreneurs and brick and mortar do is burn themselves out. So I say it is best for you to take some time off. I'll say it again. It is best for you to take some time off. Realistically speaking, an 80-hour week is realistic. Now, Tim Ferriss has done a really, really good job of painting the picture of a 4-hour week, which, depending on the business that you're in, it's not that far-fetched. If you have a lot of automation set up, you probably could have a slower week, a lesser hour week, lesser commitment week. But for some people, you actually are putting in, 16-hour days, depending on the industry you're in and what you're doing. So maybe you might want to resolute this year to actually taking some time away, some time where you can just relax, recharge your mind, And I'm not talking about like work vacation. I'm talking about some real time off, some time when you can actually enjoy the fruits of your labor and just chill out. I mean, that's just it's a necessary thing. I mean, if you don't have a break in between what you're doing, you're just grinding. And there's nothing wrong with hustling. There's nothing wrong with grinding, but it is a time when you just need to breathe. And that, for most online entrepreneurs, any entrepreneur actually, is they don't do well. It's just a realization. When you're in the grind and you're really working your business, that's farthest from your mind because you're probably thinking about operations. Well, in this case, just, give yourself some time. Resolute to do that. Resolute to do that. The next thing actually is one of the things that most entrepreneurs tend to not do that well, and that's actually run their books. What does that mean? So when it comes to knowing the health of your business, there is nothing, and I mean nothing more important than the numbers. I say this almost every time that I speak. It's something from Jay-Z, and it's kind of a mantra for me. Jay-Z one time said, "Men lie, women lie, numbers don't." And whenever I think of that, it's the thing that's like my check and balance to say, okay, I need to make sure I'm looking at numbers to ensure that whatever it is that I'm doing, I can quantify it and make sure that I'm on the right track. It's either for measurement or for me to check to see how good or bad I'm doing. Financial statements are a really, really big, important part of any business because that's going to tell you money in, money out. But what it's really telling you is, the hard decisions that you need to make. So earlier we talked about one of the resolutions of dumping employees that are sucking you dry. Your numbers are going to tell you that. The numbers that you're going to get it from is going to be your financial statements. If you don't know how to do financial statements, that's perfectly fine. There's more than enough videos on YouTube, but definitely look at doing something like QuickBooks or something to get you started. And yeah, just start to learn about your numbers. Trust me, it's just one of those things where you're going to need to be able to intelligently know where your business is suffering and where you need to put the most attention in your business. So the last one that I have for you, which I have to say is probably the one I tell most of my clients and I practice almost daily, is learn a new skill. Learn a new skill. Every year that you don't sharpen your sword is another year that you lose out, that you are not as competitive as your next competitor. And that is major, 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 major. Every day I try to see if there's something that I can absorb that I can apply to my business to make sure that whenever I'm working with anybody new or pre-existing, that I can be that much more of an asset to them. Any other business owner that you may meet on your entrepreneurial journey is going to have a certain set of skills that's going to enable them to say with confidence what they do. And if there's some type of new skill or new technology that they are not on, they will get left behind. That also goes for you as well. The reality is the person who can do the job fastest, cheaper most of the time, and with the least amount of resistance gets repeat work. And I would never want you to get left behind. I would never want you to not get everything that you deserve if you're putting in the work of running your business. So I would say with almost all certainty that this year, one of the things you might want to resolute to is learning at least one new skill that will give you a 10x return. Just one. Now, of course, I want you to learn more than just one, but start with one. Make sure that there's something that you can see that you're lacking in, that you need to improve or start to become a beast at. And that can pretty much carry you through 2017. So these are just some resolutions that I'm suggesting that you might want to resort to. And trust me, this is not set in stone. As a matter of fact, since today is not New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, you probably already made a resolution, but it's New Year's week. Yes. So you got some time. You can put something in there. We're going to go ahead and take ourselves a quick break. This is WERA's The Swift Kick Show. I am Timothy D. Craigette. When we come back, we're actually going to put a plan in place for your resolution.
The conversation doesn't end here. We'd love to hear from you so we can better provide you more great content and some fun stuff. To learn more, go to www.facebook.com/Swift Kick Show. Look forward to being friends.
Welcome back to the Swift Kick Show. Timothy D. Craigette here, WERA 96.7 FM. And man, this is the third kick. I told you, it's different. This is what it's going to be like when it's just me. So now it's time to put a plan in action. I'm going to be honest. I'm not a fan of goals. I'm not a fan of SMART goals. I'm actually a fan of quick turns. I'm a fan of just quick implementation and just seeing where it goes. In the online world, the difference between making income and losing income is speed. Primarily, it's speed. The first person or the fastest person to market most of the time is the one that gets the lion's share, because every minute of the day, there's some new offer that's being made. And what this does is it sharpens your sword to be able to actually think on your feet a lot faster than most people. And if you've been on Facebook, if you've been on Twitter, if you've been on any social network, you see that you're constantly bombarded with ads for some type of offer for something. It's because of fast implementation. And a lot of it comes from testing and tweaking. So what we're going to do for your plan is reduce looking at things in 12-year increments and instead looking at things as a 1 week increment. If you're just trying to make sure that you have viability for whatever it is that you're trying to do, you can get something up and going in a week, maybe even less. And what we want to do is we want to kind of plan out a couple weeks just to give you a little bit of a primer and a breather to figure out if something that you want to do actually has legs before you actually go and do it. It's kind of putting the cart before the horse without a cart. So let me actually walk you through how this whole thing works. So let's say you go with a resolution that you want to learn a new skill, and you don't know if it's a skill that you need to implement into your business. You have an idea that you might be lacking, but you don't know for sure. I'm going to tell you how you can actually see if it's something that you need to invest in. And you can do this for just about anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to have you fire up an ad on Facebook. This is how it's going to work. So on Facebook, whenever you're running an ad, ADS, it's ads. What you're trying to do is see if you can get attention about something. And what we're going to have you do is run an ad to see if you can get people to like your idea. Or two, you're going to run an ad to see if you can get somebody to pay for the new skill in a creative way, of course, that you would then acquire the skill so you can deliver on the promise. So in Facebook, when you're running an ad and you're doing something that's called a like campaign, your primary objective is to find what someone will like, send a happy face, an angry face, some type of reaction, about whatever it is you're promoting. So let's say your new skill that you're trying to learn is bookkeeping. And in your bookkeeping skill, all you have to do is learn how to read and interpret a spreadsheet. What if you went and you sent out an ad saying, I love running spreadsheets for my business. Would you like to know how? And you use an image of, let's say you use an image of some, images of cells like you would see on a spreadsheet. And your headline would be something to the effect of, click like if you love running your business. You're sending out the message that there's an understanding that you're liking using spreadsheets in order to track what you're doing. So if you send that ad out, then you're trying to see with a certain particular audience. Let's say it's an audience of small business owners and who run out of a home office. And you're trying to see if they're going to click the like button on that to like said ad. Well, if you get a ton of if you get a ton of likes from this ad that you're running, then you know that there's some viability to it, and maybe you might want to develop something that teaches people how to use spreadsheets, if that is a skill that you wanted to learn. So let's say that you did, and you got a whole bunch of likes. Well, now you can use that data that you've acquired from those likes, and you can drive them a promotion that could pay for you to create something that talks about bookkeeping after you, of course, got the skill. So there's that way. And then the other way is simply doing the same thing, except moving them towards a purchase. So let's say you ran that same ad, and instead of it being click like to learn more or something to that effect, it might be learn more at, and you put in your web address as to where you want them to go. That place would have a buy button, a button that they can press in order to exchange money for knowledge. And from there, you can just collect all of the funds that you would need in order to get the skill and make, again, the product later that can that can sell and get you the new skill. Now, in both of those situations, you didn't have to do anything in advance. You didn't have to make anything. You didn't have to research anything. You didn't have to, you didn't have to do anything except set out an ad and run it. It's a testing phase. That's all it is. So we're going to come right back with the last kick of the day. And you guys are just doing great. 2017.
Shows like this need your help to continue broadcasting through radio for the Arlington, Virginia community and online. Donations from listeners like you help create great programming to enrich the mind and spirit. To help WERA 96.7 and its commitment to promote community-based radio, please go to www.wera.fm and click on the donate button. Every little bit counts, so please kick in a little. Again, go to www.wera.fm. And now, for more of the Swift Kick Show with Timothy D. Craggett.
So now it's time for the last kick of the day. Guys, 2017, this is exciting. I'm so stoked to be a part of your journey in online entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship as a whole. Let's just talk a little bit about what we talked about in the show. So, kind of gave you guys some direction for something that might be a goal that you might want to set, even though I don't like the word goal. And we just kind of briefly discussed a couple things that most small business owners don't think about when it comes to their business. That might be something where they can improve their results for the year. We also went through a really, really quick example of a way that you can supersede your plan for the year by just getting an idea out and seeing if it has any type of legs to ensure that you can, make sure it's something that's worth your attention or your time. Now, you can use that any which way you feel fit. It's not just about learning a new skill, but the whole thing of being able to quickly determine from an active marketplace, what they want or need is one of the essential things for any business. And so in 2017, I believe that you guys have everything you need to be successful. And the Swift Kick Show is here to help you out along the way. So I look forward to being a part of your journey, and let's get it. This is the Swift Kick Show on WERA 96.7 FM. I am Timothy D. Craigat. Happy New Year.
You've been listening to the Swift Kick Show with Timothy D. Craigat. For more information and bonus content, go to www.swiftkickshow.com. Tune in next week for another kick.